Today on Meeting Point, we are going to live through the life of an award-winning director, producer, and an actor. A talent that was popularly known in northern Nigeria has today become a household name in the country after putting in more than 3 decades of hard work, dedication, and discipline. He is the immediate past national president of Motion Picture Practitioners Association in Nigeria, also a member of the steering committee for Motion Picture Council of Nigeria by the federal government, and Chief Executive Officer of Lenscope Media. Well, you'll get to know more about this inspirational personality shortly. I am Indenyan Andiabajan, and it is with great pleasure that I welcome to the studio SANI MUAZU.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It is also a delight having you on Meeting Point. Yes, moving on. Tell us about who SANI MUAZU is.
Well, let's put it as a given that SANI MUAZU is a man, as you can see, and from the northern part of Nigeria, like you said, and so on and so forth. But to be more serious about this, I was given birth to in Jos here on the 2nd of May, 1960. Meaning I'm 66, 65, getting to 66 by now. I grew up here in Jos, and I started my formative education, here in Jos as well. I was one of the few people, you will say, that were lucky to see television, being introduced to the community in the 70s. And since I saw television, I was glued to it. I knew my heart and soul was there. And so when NTA Jos, then NTV Jos, was the only, source of entertainment we had, I would stroll up to NTA and just hang around and just, initially I didn't even know what I was looking for until I grew to become a presenter of one of the youth programs. I was just finishing secondary school then, and it was so exciting that life started, by one foraying into self-discovery. But the more I get to know about myself, the more I wanted more education, the more I strive, to perform better. So my engagement, full engagement, was in the newsroom initially. So I became a newscaster, a reporter, and presenter of different programs very early in life. That made me to want to read more about journalism. So I went to NIJ in Lagos, where I studied news reporting, advanced writing, thinking that I would be comfortable being in the newsroom. But with time, the more exposure I get to creativity, the more I realize that it is restrictive to be in the newsroom because you'll be doing the same thing over and over again. And I was looking for an opportunity to create something new, something fresh, something different on a daily basis. So I stumbled upon filmmaking, as my calling in 1986. And so I had to go back to the university, read more about, I wanted to read film. I didn't want to do theater arts. But it was only mass communication that gave me the opportunity of studying more about film then. And I was also practicing in the industry as I studied. That was how SANI MUAZU was begotten. Fortunately for me, Nollywood, Kannywood all came and met us in the industry practicing. So I had the opportunity of going beyond the small tube to the larger screen. And that, again, was a challenge because you want to up the ante. You want to make your, stuff, a bit better, more in tandem with international best practices. We thank God we are where we are today.
Okay. I was going to ask you that I'm sure certain values would have made you want to join the film industry. Are those values still very much tenable as it is?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You see, joining the film industry was like a leap of faith. We, if you, the more you study about yourself, where you came from, who you are, what you represent, the more you'll realize that the media hardly represent you properly. As Africans, I had always wondered growing up why in foreign exposition of we Africans, we are always the underdog. We are always the downtrodden. We are always the people that you see from Somalia that are suffering from hunger, malnutrition, children, looking, very close to death because this is Africa. My Africa was not like that. I refused to accept that that was my Africa. I wanted to do something about that. I watched programs, I watched Tarzan, as a kid. And a white little boy in Africa who could climb all the trees and talk to the animals and do wonderful things. And the Africans within that forest could not talk to their own animals and they could not do all those brilliant things. I refused that that was my Africa. I wanted to change the world. I wanted to engage the world to see that Africans don't live on, trees, eating bananas. We live in fine houses. We wear fine clothes. We have fine women. We drive cars. We are who we are. And the media was not representing me well. So I wanted to do something myself. Filmmaking gave me that opportunity. An opportunity to correct the impression, the wrong impression that the world is showing of us as Africans. An opportunity for us to show that we are brilliant people with brilliant minds. Now, even when 419, became the only thing that defines us as Africans, I refuse that we are all bad people wanting to dupe, or outsmart somebody of their funds. I wanted to use fame to correct that impression that Africans are honest people, they are transparent, they are community people that, take care of each other.
Yes, we'll get to know more about your role.
So it is not over. I'm still doing that.
Yes, so we'll get to know more about that as we in the course of the discussion. Let me take you a little bit back. You talked about being a staff with the NTA, then you switched to film industry. The decision, yes, you told us the newsroom was a bit restrictive, but will you say that was really, really an easy switch?
Well, let me put it this way. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. I came to NTA as a young man and started as an artist. As a presenter, presenting programs then, you're not really a full-time staff. You are looking for gainful employment eventually, until my first decision to leave this NTA was to go to PTV, which became PRTV. Okay. In 1981-82, PTV was created. And there was so much excitement, that staff of NTA were migrating to PTV. I joined them and we started PTV. Today it is PRTV. Now, was it easy? Definitely at that point it was easy. Moving, to start PRTV. But when I realized newsroom was not my calling, I came back and started working with a national production base of NTA. Peter Ego was then head of programs, and he started this national production base here in Jos. And the decision to leave NTA by 1990 or thereabout was mainly for self-growth. We wanted to form the first independent film production company here in Jos, actually the first in northern Nigeria. And NTA created the problem that made us to want to do so. NTA came up with this, policy that if you cannot be a staff and be on air, you must stay behind the camera. And by then we all were actors, writers and so on. We have our own following. You can't say because I'm a staff, I can't be in front of the camera. So we started Epitome Productions here in Jos, down Dogongarfe there. And Epitome Productions was the first major independent film production company in this part of the country. We started with Madazi, late Madazi, who was my MD, and myself and a few others. We did very well between that before I started, wanting to form my own personal company. So by 1995, I had formed Lenscope Media, which is what I'm doing to date.
That's interesting. So how has the growth in the film industry, how has it been like?
That's where I would clearly agree with you, it's not easy. The film industry at a point was so undefined, so unstructured, that you cannot actually call it an industry in the true sense of an industry. We had to work very hard to give it the semblance of an industry. Film is divided into 3 or 4. There is production, distribution, and marketing or exhibition. Now, we were able to have hands on handle in the area of production, and to some extent, we could distribute when it was very easy to sell out VHS tapes or VCDs and DVDs in the market. But in terms of marketing and making the industry grow through direct exhibition, we had no opportunity of doing so. So we created what we refer to, everybody referred to as a film industry, but a shoestring film industry. Okay. The entire economy of the industry is probably not enough to pay an actor in Hollywood. So how then, would one be very comfortable with that? So as the curtain raisers, the pioneers, we kept trying to, start something fresh, and the difficulty in starting something, remain, part and parcel of us for a very long time. Sometimes we can't pay our bills. Sometimes you can't buy petrol in your car, but you're still pushing to make it happen. That was how it started.
Yes, okay. Looking at your role in the film industry, you are an actor. And which movie will you say, had the most impact on you in that translating, or will I say, defining moment in your career as an actor?
There were quite a number of, crossroads that we came across in life. Sometimes it is not so much as which film you featured in. I was part of a film called Soweto, an international film project. And I was just engaged, as a production assistant in 1986. Soweto was a crossroad for me that became a defining moment. It was just watching what was happening, just being part of, the process of making an international movie that made me to be convinced that I don't want to be anything else but a filmmaker. Secondly, I have played roles, several roles as an actor. I've also played roles as a director or producer behind the camera. Would I want to choose one and say it is the best for me? No. You see, each time you play a role, especially a man of my stature, I try to put in my 100 and probably 10% into every role I play. I take the roles I play as an opportunity, a window that opened for me to showcase, what I could. Now, by the time you're done with this project, you will see another project that is as challenging or more challenging than that one. And then you throw your whole into it. I have done that, around again and again and again. I have gotten awards as far back as around 1989 or so. 1992 or so. I played the role of a blind man. Baba Nasiru, that's what most people, remembered me with. But the name of the character is Muda. But because they referred to my son Nasiru, I was called Baba Nasiru in it. It's an English story called Riddles and Hopes. Many magazines and newspapers voted me in Nigeria as the best actor for playing the role of a blind man. So would I say, that role was my best? No. I have played so many other roles. I did the role of Solomon in Sugar Niger, for instance. Sugar Niger was an MTV-based, sponsored production. It's an international project. And I played the role of Solomon there. That was the first opportunity I had to bring Hausa into my English dialogue. I decided to see if I can enhance my ability to present by adding Hausa language, a little bit of it, into my lines, as an actor.
Did that work well?
It worked very well. Till today, people still recall, some of the words, I added into my English dialogue. And many people get amused, by the beauty of doing that. So I would say that's another turning point. But I can tell you more and more. In Hausa roles, I have played, different roles.
Yeah.
I can tell you more like that. So each time you want to be more creative, more organic, yet more, you want to get, bolder and get wider audiences.
But in recent times, which of the films will you say had the most impact in you, putting yourself into that character that you were meant to act?
In the 1001 films I did recently?
Yes. Yes.
Well, like I said, it is very difficult to say.
Yeah.
Recently, I have acted in roles. Let's take Netflix, which is like one of the major things that people talk about a lot. I played a role in Lionheart, and Lionheart is the first Nigerian, movie to go on Netflix. Yeah. It's good. It's a defining moment. Yeah. I have played roles in movies like, on Arewa 24, we had Kwana Chesaing, where I played the role of governor and then former governor and so on and so forth. It is one of the roles I played that today, are becoming a challenge to my real name. The name of the role is gradually becoming my name because people have accepted I am Bawa Mekada, I'm not SANI MUAZU. And no matter how hard I try to say, no, I'm SANI MUAZU, people are still insisting, I'm Bawa Mekada. These are some of the things that happen to you. Another defining moment for me.
So how do you get around that?
You have to live with it. You have to live with it. Recently, we did Katangari, goes to town, and I guess each time I play a role. Right now, I'm on air, on Wings, that is showing on Africa Magic.
Recently, you received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2025 African Magic Viewers' Choice Award. How did you feel?
It is good to be recognized, especially to be recognized beyond your immediate environment. The Africa Magic Award is like an African recognition, and it has a way of moving you up, lifting you up, and making you to become more relevant, more giving you a wider reach to global audiences. I was very excited receiving that award. Unfortunately for me, I didn't know I was going to receive the award. I was so shocked and dazed when my name was announced. I was seated in the crowd, not expecting anything. And then my name was announced, and there was this citation of me. And it was so emotional for me. I couldn't talk much because I was dazed. Thrilled too that among my colleagues, and there are multitudes of them that I have worked with over the years that I felt have done better than me. But here I was the one that was selected to pick the award. So it was really an emotional and sober moment for me.
The director is whispering that time,
Oh.
but I must ask this question. You are the Makaman just now.
Yes.
Being a community leader, how has that position helped you in impacting values amongst your people?
This is a beautiful question because I'm not just a filmmaker. I'm also a member of a community. And having the opportunity to give back to the very community, that begets you, is one of the best things, one of the best legacies I would want to be remembered with. So when the Uja Anaguta, in his wisdom, decided he wants to turban me as the Makama of Just North, again, it is recognition, it is being appreciated by your immediate community. But it was an impetus to do more, to help the community more, to give back more, to bring up youths, young people that would come and do like you or even do better than you.
Sorry, quickly, what word do you have for emerging the new generation of directors, producers, and actors, especially of the Northern extraction?
They need to be consistent. They need to be creative. They need to also be resilient in what they're doing. Because it's a dog-eat-dog situation out there. There is no free lunch. Nobody would allow you to become like me, just like that. You have to fight to get there. Not physical fight. If you're very creative, you're already fighting. So you need to be resilient in what you're doing, and the sky will not even be a limit.
It's just a beginning.
It's just a beginning.
Thank you. It's a pleasure speaking with you. Unfortunately, my director says time is against us. We're up on time. I hope when we call you next time, you oblige us.
Inshallah, definitely.
Thank you very much. I have been speaking with SANI MUAZU in the last 25 minutes. Do join us again on another exciting edition of Meeting Point.